Most of us realise that we need profound political change here in Ireland.
But what isn't clear for many of us is exactly what kind of political change that should be.
Do we need a big swing to the left?
Or to the right?
Or is there another way of thinking about Ireland and the world which goes beyond those old political clichés and assumptions?
Actually, there is. Believe it or not, there's a political movement which actively fights against wasting money and resources.
While actively fighting for a better quality of life for all.
Which strives to protect both our country's future
and our country's heritage.
Which values the power of new technology.
And the power of nature.
Which promotes self-sufficiency.
And challenges self-interest.
Which believes in personal responsibility.
And personal freedom.
A national party.
Which is also an international movement.
The Green Party, a democratic political party with a focus on better planning, social justice and sustainable economic growth and protection of the natural environment. The Greens entered into government in 2007, agreeing upon a coalition with the Progressive Democrats and Fianna Fáil. 4 years later, and 2 months prior to the general election, due to dissatisfaction with the coalition partners Fianna Fáil, the Greens announced its withdrawal from the government.
The Irish people have begun to lose confidence in politics and in the political process. They have watched aghast the conduct in Dáil Éireann of political parties. The Irish people expect and deserve better. For a very long time, we in the Green Party have stood back in the hope that Fianna Fáil could resolve persistent doubts about their party leadership. A definitive resolution of this has not yet been possible, and our patience has reached an end.
In the run-up to this year's election, the Green Party had 6 seats in government and had their sights on increasing that number, with the aid of an improved manifesto and a list of policies which they thought could bring the country forward.
A properly regulated banking system.
And major steps towards more equality.
More democracy.
More jobs. More accountability.
And less cruelty.
Real progress in the fight against climate change.
Real advances in the promotion of cleaner, safer and more sustainable energy at home and at work.
Real steps towards a better quality of life for us today.
And for our children and their children.
We've proven that we won't shirk the difficult decisions.
We've made a positive difference in government.
And we've learned from government. We make no apology for working with any party who can help us get our policies implemented.
Because very simply, the issues we care about and know about and fight for are far too important to be ignored or to be put on the long finger.
Well, it's very clear now as we approach the final day of campaigning that we are very close to victory in our key constituencies. We're fighting for the last seat, and what we're saying to people is this: Fine Gael and Labour are home and dry, and if you want to keep a Green presence in the Dáil, you've got to vote number 1 for the Green Party to keep us ahead of the rest.
Unfortunately, as Gormley and his Green Party were soon to learn, the Greens will fail to reclaim the 6 seats they had in the Dáil, and the party is currently absent from the 31st Dáil. The election was an out-and-out win for now new Taoiseach Enda Kenny and his Fine Gael party. So the question arises, where did the Green Party go wrong?
I think that everything that they propose is always regulating people instead of actually giving people alternatives. Like, I mean, bringing in carbon tax and things just really gets under people's skin and just annoys people. It doesn't actually have any effect. Then other things like I mean, I'm pretty sure they're behind like the 10 o'clock stop on drinking and stuff, and that does absolutely nothing except makes people want to prepare before they go out.
I think the Green Party are probably seen as a pretty weak-minded party. A lot of the things that they said they do, they never do. Like the whole Shell to oil fiasco that they never got behind. They're always under constant criticism, or they were always under constant criticism when they were in government, to back out of things that they said they were going to back out of, and they never did. So I think people see them as like a weak-minded party, and that they won't actually get anything done, which is probably why they lost all their seats.
In the midst of an economic downturn, it's perhaps not surprising that the public chose to put their faith in Fine Gael, and not the more environmentally conscious Green Party. However, fingers may be pointed at the level of TDs in the party, specifically controversial TD Paul Gogarty, whose antics outside the Dáil and his 2009 F-rant in Parliament may have shed a negative light on the party as a whole.
Well, all due respect and the most unparliamentary language, fuck you, Deputy Stagg! Fuck you!
The Greens have a future because they're out to save the planet,
absolutely,
not their seats. And there is that agenda. Yeah. They're serious.
And they're European.
They're young and
many of their clothes have been stolen by all the other parties.
They have no difficulty with that. I genuinely say that. They're very serious people, and I have huge regard for them. Huge regard for them, and I think that they have a future.
I'm sure a Fine Gael government will enthuse an awful lot of Greens to get back into politics.
Yeah.
Today is listening to wider membership of the party and working together to see how we restructure it, how we get back, which we will.
We need to talk amongst ourselves and come out fighting once again, but not to have a swagger of arrogance or that somehow we were the wrong party. We got a kicking, and we have to take that kicking with good grace.
The party have a future, of course. I mean, the Green Party is a very resilient party, a party that has principles and values and policies which are probably more important now than ever before.
Lenny Antonelli, a journalist for the Irish Times, does not see a total wipeout for the Green Party. While minuscule, their planning has begun to show within carbon tax and water charges. He believes that they should act on their promises such as creating jobs, preventing education fees and going ahead with the rail infrastructure. Then they would be likely to gain more votes.
And if you mean the Green Party, you don't understand what we're about. We are about principles, we are about values. We're not about to fold our tent. That's just not going to happen.
Can I ask you on a personal level, I mean, given the fact that you may very well be out of a job in 2 weeks' time, what are you going to do?
Well, I could come in here and present this show, you know, it'd be an absolute doddle. I mean, I can read this, the news is next, tensions are rising about it. I can read that, no problem.
Do you have a plan?
No problem.
Do you have a plan beyond the election?
No, I don't. Look, I'm here to do my job, right? It's not an easy job, and you know, it's something that I believe in. I believe in it passionately. We are a party of conviction. And we believe that we have made changes for the better. We believe our platform will transform Ireland, but we'll continue. We'll continue to go out there and, you know, do things. Because I tell you what, Mark, it's not about the next election. It is about the next generation, and that's the fundamental principle of Green Party politics.
John, thank you.